What's happening? This is Juntzu. Just Slabbering. What's happening, everyone? This is Juntzu, the Just Slabbering podcast. Today we're joined by a very, very special guest, the pride of Belfast himself, Michael Conlan. It's an honour to have you on, my bro.
Pleasure, John.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Pleasure, mate.
So, I first heard of you, obviously, like most days, because I lived in Manchester and all at the time, but I first heard of you at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and you went after the corruption in the Olympics. And I loved that, and I seen that raw Belfast passion in you. You were just saying, I don't give a fuck about swearing on the TV. And I was thinking, go on the lad. I loved it. You with me, bro? So, like, when did you start boxing? How did you get into boxing and all? You've been doing it your whole life?
I've been doing it now, boxing 24 years this year.
24 years, bro.
I'm 31, so I started when I was 7. How I started was my two older brothers went to the gym, and I just wanted to be like my older brother. The oldest one, not the one in between us, because we hated each other when we were young. But I always wanted to be like him, so I just followed them to the gym, and I kept getting kicked out, saying, you're too young. But I just kept going and kept going.
And your older brother, he was a champion too, wasn't he?
We all boxed, and we're all like national champions at like the same year and everything at one stage. But then the one in between us, he fell out and started the kind of, he wanted to enjoy the lifestyle of being a teenager, being young, no wanting to drink, going out, smoking the weed, having the crack. So, he fell out. But my older brother Jamie, he kept boxing. He ended up fighting for a world title and stuff. He won many titles along the way. But then, when he was turned professional, I was still boxing as an amateur. So, if he had retired probably before he turned professional, I probably would have finished boxing. I probably wouldn't have done it. I was just doing it because I wanted to be like him.
Yes, I'm with you, bro. Because so you looked up to your big bro then, and big then but I think you're Ireland's most decorated amateur boxer of all time, aren't you? As well. What is your actual amateur record?
So like there's loads of different things, but it's something like 256, I think, and 14. What? So
my goodness! Oh, whoa, that's impressive, bro. And then, so how old were you when you got called to the Olympics then?
So before I got on the national team, like people are usually on the national team from a young age, but I was always too late at my first year boxing, which is you're around 10, 11, in between. My first weight division was 27 kilograms. That probably weighs the same as your arm right now, like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
what is that, super flyweight?
No, that's the kids' weights, you know what I mean? So I was only a kid, I was 11 or something. I was way too late for nationals or for like Ireland squads and stuff. But I was winning throughout the years, winning titles and stuff, but they were never picking me because it was so late.
Yes. But
then when I hit like 16, 17 was the first time I kind of got called on the team. It was a Northern Ireland Commonwealth Youth Games team.
Right.
And I ended up going to that. And from the ages, in between, from the ages of like 12, after I won my first Ireland, 11, 12, to 16, I was involved in like, I just started to like drink and take drugs, doing stuff like that there. But it was, when I got called on to that national squad, I was told you could drug test it at this tournament. And I shit myself. I says, if I get caught here, my dad would kill me. I got to stop doing this. Yeah. So I stopped then.
So you done like smoking weed and all?
Smoking weed, taking ease, I tried acid, everything. I done everything.
That's your bro.
I was young.
And what, were you just into the partying and all?
I wasn't even partying because I was too young to even go out in the like clubs and all there. I was just like up in the the field, fucking on the drink, on the gear, on everything.
Out in the graveyards.
Up in the graveyards on having the bar.
You love your McDonald's and don't you? Was that you in there too?
But I know him very well.
They're brilliant. He's a legend. I always say it now. I don't eat McDonald's. I'm against it. I made a pact with my daughter 8 years ago. It says they'll never eat McDonald's again. So then we went to Five Guys about 6 times a week, but they could have took a mortgage out of Five Guys for their shit. But no, I was against McDonald's. So anytime my girlfriend or anyone says, I fancy McDonald's, I go, you love your McDonald's, don't you? So you smoked bud and all, bro, back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah.
What was it? Was it the hash, the old hash?
The hash, burn it, burn it.
Yeah, in Manchester we called that Sputnik. That's what it was called, hash, like soap bar. It's like we called it Sputnik, Hot Rocks and all that.
Hot Rocks, Burgos fleece ruined.
I'm telling you, bro. I used to make a shoddy pipe You know, so you'd get like a wee like bottle of Coke and then
burn the hole in the bottom.
yeah,
put
and you
the
had
sock
to,
in the
you had to
top,
go
fill
around
water.
and snap off the aerials off the cars, you know, and then you get the wee pipe, and that's how we do. My mum found it, and she thought I was like a heroin addict, you know, because she sees all the utensils now.
See, one thing I was like, I've spoke about this a lot in like the last few years, but like my parents never found it. One thing I was unbelievable at was hiding shit,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah,
a great wee fucking liar.
Yeah,
like,
whatever you do, don't
I
get
was,
caught.
I was never getting caught.
Militant.
And like, I was always worried if my older brothers caught me because I wanted to be like him, but he would have fucked me up if he knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
So like,
Love that.
I was always very aware. And the one in between, Brenton, who was the one who was smoking, he found all like my socket tops and all that there, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm telling my dad, he never did think fuck, but
Yeah.
like he just didn't stealing them on me.
Even the thought of telling your dad just is enough.
That was enough.
Militant. And I read your dad is actually from Dublin.
From Dublin,
Militant. And does he have the Dublin accent? and
He
everything?
still does, and it comes out more. He's lived here over 30 years now, like, but he still has like a southern accent, especially a Dublin accent. But like when he meets like family or he's talking to like a southerner, his Dublin accent comes out more. So I give him so much stick about that. Like fuck me, you're like a false Dubliner. He hates it, but
Of course.
Nah, it's good. Like
So, and is your dad into the boxing then?
he's the national coach of Ireland.
Is he? Wow. And is that what happened? Whoa.
No, so like he get into boxing, he boxed all his life, but like he was again probably a bit like I was. He was always messing about when he was younger.
Yeah.
And he was getting kicked out of clubs and all, but he ended up getting kicked out of boxing because in the club he ended up breaking the guy's jaw with not sparring, just fighting.
Yeah,
They were
just got
fighting
into a
now,
fight
so
with him.
he got banned from the club and then he ended up, he was just playing every sport, you know, in the GA and stuff, and he got banned from that for fighting and stuff. So he ended up moving up to Belfast, or met my man met him in Dublin or something. Then he moved up to Belfast, and the rest is history.
It's probably why you were so hard as nails then.
Well, he's...
Your dad's Dublin, your ma's Belfast.
No, the crazy thing is, like, when he moved to Belfast, everybody's moving out of Belfast. He moved to Belfast in the height of the troubles, and everybody was moving out of Belfast.
Whoa, so he
So,
moved
like, they were
there,
going, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm in love. I'm moving to meet the woman I love.
Legend, bro. I love that. That's militant shit. Wow. So so your whole life then, you were just boxing orientated? Like you started when you were 7?
Oh, I started when I was 7, but it was like, he always watched boxing. He wasn't a coach at that time. But he always watched the boxing and always had us watching the boxing. He would stay up and watch big fights. Come on, stay up, lads. Come on. Keeping us up. We're only
Same as
kids,
me.
like, but he's like bringing us down watching the fights.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31. Well, I'm 35. So we would have watched similar fights. Like I remember sat up watching the Mike Tyson and Frank Bruno fight.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd sit up, you'd fall asleep. My dad would wake us up then, you know, and you'd get up and watch it.
But so he would have woke us up, and then like when the Olympics were on in the summer, we always would watch the Olympics, and it would have been the boxing. Wouldn't watch the anything else.
Yeah. Who was your favourite to watch back in the day as a kid?
Like Morales and Burr and stuff. No, the Mexicans. I loved them. And like they were what I loved.
Yeah.
So
I loved Nazim.
Nas was he actually. I forgot Nas because he's the reason I actually wanted to box.
What? So well, it makes sense because
if you look, like, obviously there's fucking loads of controversy and everything about walkouts and all this here now, especially my walkouts. But I've always wanted to bring a show before the show, and that's because of Nas.
Yes.
Watching him, I was like, I want to fucking do that.
You couldn't
like,
fuck with Nas. He was the sickest.
When he fought Barrera and ended up losing, I was the only one wanted Nas to win. My family hated him. They hated that, the cockiness.
Yeah, the cockiness.
But I loved it. I was like,
know.
fucking
It was the
brilliant.
showman.
It was.
There
I
was
loved
nobody
it,
like Nas. I remember he came in a flying carpet.
Yeah, flying carpet, and then he done the Thriller entrance on
He
Halloween
was
to
too
the
sick,
graveyard.
bro. He was before his time.
Fucking
And then
hell,
even with his hands down and all, there was no boxers like that.
Nah.
It was next level,
The
bro.
arrogance was unbelievable.
The way he used to flip into the ring
flip
and
into
all.
the ring,
See, all of that, it was unique. He was
he was different, though, and that's
totally
what stood to me, and
the
I
thing
really
is,
enjoyed it.
but he never fought after he lost, did he?
He fought once, and he won, and then he retired.
Did he? Well, that's good. Nas was one of the best ever. I've only ever really went and seen Ricky Hatton in Manchester. I watched him.
I say the atmosphere was unbelievable at that.
Yeah, it was epic, bro. I seen Ricky always used to get about. I grew up in Gordon in Manchester. You know the same place the film Shameless.
Oh, is that where you grew up?
Yeah, that was where I grew up.
That's mad, you know.
But Ricky Hatton's dad owned a carpet shop.
Oh, did he?
And there's where you always see Ricky driving about, and we'd always,
brilliant,
Ricky, you know, at the lights, and he was like a people's champ, you know.
Fucking right, he was. Oh, he definitely was.
Ricky was a miller, and I noticed like you go for the body shots a lot too. Ricky was a body shot king.
He was the body shot king, like, and he was much more aggressive than me, much more of a stylist and slickster than what he would be. But the body shots is where I try to get people out most of the time, because they're always everybody can get hurt to the body. It doesn't matter who you are.
I'll never forget when he got beat off Mayweather. I was wrecked, bro, because he was undefeated, wasn't he, until he got to Mayweather.
He was undefeated then, and then I remember the Pacquiao.
Oh,
when
no,
he lost
that was
Pacquiao,
too much.
I was the only one celebrating as well in my house when that happened, because I love Pacquiao.
Obviously, Pacquiao was a hero.
Pacquiao is my modern favorite of recent times. He's been my favorite.
I would have to say, in terms of personality, I love Pacquiao the most, because he's like a real warrior, and he's humble, and he dedicates it all back.
Slaps everything off, and
and he's known as like a hero in the Philippines and all, isn't he?
It's mad. Like I boxed on his undercard in Australia in my third pro fight. Top Rank, who was the same promotion, who brought me the undercard, because they knew there's loads of Irish in Australia. They're like, we'll get loads. The arena was 50,000 seater. He ended up losing that against Jeff Horn, but like being with it, you hear all the insides and outs of boxing, the business of boxing. Like, he was flying. He was chartering his own jet from the Philippines to bring his team. He brings like that much people. He's just like how much money he spends on like his team and on charity and stuff is crazy. It's the reason he's probably still training the fight and all that.
I know, but I love that, bro. He's a hero. He's like, I don't know,
Man of the people.
and that's what I love about him. He is, like I said, I loved Mike Tyson. Remember when someone says to Mike Tyson, "Did you hear Floyd Mayweather said he's greater than Muhammad Ali?" And Mike Tyson went mental and goes, "He's not great because he can't even walk out of the house on his own. Can't walk by himself." He says, "Muhammad Ali would walk in front of thousands like this."
He can't walk with the people.
So I've always watched boxing since I was a kid. My dad bought me this chain when I was 6. We moved to Wales first and moved to Swansea, and I joined a wee boxing gym when I was 6, and it was run by a man called Mario McNarelli. And he had a son, and his son was the same age as me, and he says, "One day I'll be a champion." That was Enzo McNarelli.
Was it?
Yeah. So I trained like with Enzo as a kid for like 2 years, and then obviously Joe Kawasaki took him on. But I loved Enzo as well, you know.
Oh, brilliant. Enzo's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a G. Well, I haven't met him. Funny enough, I haven't spoke to him since I was 7 years old.
Oh, serious? You should reach out to him at some stage.
I would love to reach out to him. He's a great guy. I would love to. I wonder if he would remember me.
I think he would come on the pod and all too, you know.
I should do. I was going to get him on. Because listen, I moved to Bonnie Mine, and that was his gym, Bonnie Mine Boxing Club, by his dad, Mario. I'll never forget it, bro, right? I said I wanted to join the boxing, because obviously we sat up watching it with my dad, and I was like 6 or 7. We walked into the gym. Mario, his dad, was on the pads, and my mum walked in with my mum. My mum said, "My son wants to join the gym." And he looked at me and he says, "Get into the ring." And I got into the ring, and he says, he goes, "Are you good at boxing?" And I went, "Yes." And then he went, and clapped me right in the head, and then he went, "You're not that good." And then I'll never forget, I was thinking, shit. But I loved it, bro. And then the sparring and all, I was obsessed with boxing for years. And then when we moved to Manchester, I just
dwindled away.
Yeah, and like I said, started smoking weed and shit, and then that was
starts
me.
To fade away, it definitely does.
But I always watched it, and I was obsessed with and then I sort of fell out with boxing more in later times, found it not as exciting.
Yeah.
And I got more into the UFC, Do you like the UFC at all?
I do, I enjoy it, I know a good few of the lads who are in it as well, so it's nice when you watch.
Who do you know who's in it?
I know the main man. I know McGregor.
Obviously you know McGregor. Sure, he walked you out at your first fight, didn't he?
On the debut, but I know all the boys here. Everyone here, like in the country. Like, so it's
McGregor revolutionised it. Like, he transcended it.
He made it what it is. Of course
he did. I loved it when they said to McGregor, "How much are you worth?" or something. He says, "How much is the UFC worth?" 4.2 billion. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? Because it was him. Like, he transcended it.
He's my boss.
I just watched an interview with him yesterday. He just came on Ariel Hawani there. Done a week.
Oh, recently has he done
just
one?
Last night, literally last night, he came out live. But he's a G. I love McGregor, bro. What he done for the sport was next level, Definitely. And then fighting Mayweather, that was special.
And he announced that basically, how he got that fight was when he walked me out in my debut.
Yeah.
he was in the arena, obviously, first time being around all the boxing press, he started going, I'm boxing.
Yeah.
And that just started the Mayweather trend from there, like, so it was unbelievable.
And he used to call out Mayweather even in the UFC. He'd say, listen, all these UFC fighters, they're shit, I might have to call out Mayweather or not. He was going for... How did that come about where he walked you out on the... and that was your first...
I was my debut though as a pro fighter, but I kind of met him before then, like for his... After I won the World Championships in 2015, and he reached out to me and congratulated me and stuff, and I was like, fuck me, no, biggest star in sport at the minute. He's reached, wow, it's amazing. So we started chatting away and stuff, and then he reached out and says, can you get me a sparring partner? Southpaw, tall. It's for this rematch against Nate Diaz. He's a perfect guy. Got him the perfect sparring partner. And I ended up paying off for him too, because he ended up winning. But had him the perfect sparring partner, so he got that there, and then like went to the Olympics and stuff, and he was like sending me all the Reebok boots and all before any boxers could get them, and I was like, fucking brilliant. And then after the Olympics, when I turned pro, he was doing a talk up in Belfast in Devonish, like 2,000 people there, and I got invited up on stage to sit and talk with him, and sitting there in front of everybody. I says, you're gonna walk me out with David, put the pressure on him, and he's like 100%.
You're a G. I love that, bro. I love it. And obviously that bro, it looked militant that I seen. I was thinking this is too G'd up, bro.
It was crazy, and the pressure as well though at that stage.
Obviously.
Like, I was going out in the pro debut. Like everything's different. No head guards. The gloves are smaller.
Yeah,
fuck all in them.
Of course.
There's much more on the line. There's more money on the line. Everything like this.
Yeah. It was literally going out without stabilizers for the first time.
100%. And it's like I'm having a pro fighter. I don't know. I've never done this. What happens if I lose? Everybody's watching this. I've told numpty amount of people that I'm going to knock this guy in the third round. Much people put money. Betting was suspended. Betting gets suspended. Yeah. People were investigating. People were investigating party for suspicious thing, you know.
For fuck's sake.
It's because I was telling people, I was saying, I'm going to do him a third round. And I remember, like, when McGregor and all came in, his whole team was with him, and he came in, they changed room and stuff. I was like, this is a small fucking change room, and the energy he brings, I don't even remember warming up. I was like, as bandies, and next minute, you're going to the ring. I'm like, what the fuck's happened here? I don't know what's going on. I was shitting myself.
I know, and time would just be flying. Yeah, I can imagine.
I walked to the ring, and the crowd is going absolutely mental. I'm seeing people from school, everything. McGregor walking up behind me carrying the tricolour. I get in
now
there,
you have to get on and give the performance of your life.
I get in the ring, and I'm just like, I gotta finish this as soon as I can. Quick. So when I look back on it, the performance was terrible.
Yeah.
I got the job done, got it on the third round and all. But like the performance was fucking terrible. So
but I love that. So you self-critique yourself more than anyone. That's the bit you have to do.
You have to.
Of course. Militant, but you still done what you said you were going to do.
I was going to do. I told people for the next 3 fights or 4 fights, I think it was, third round, and then after the fourth one, I was like, I'm not doing this no more. It's too much pressure.
I know. Let's stick back the second. Militant, bro. But you've smashed it, brother. You really have. Like, and then I wanted to say, so it was funny. My mate Danny from the Cali Cave, his dad, he's a massive Katie Taylor fan, and I had never watched her at all or nothing, and I said, I don't like girl fights and all, you know, and he says, you need to watch her, you will be shocked. And it was only the Sereno fight.
Oh, it was the first one I watched?
That was the first one I watched, and it was only because of Danny's dad, Jimmy. He says to me, watch her now, and promise you. And I can't remember, Jake Paul or something was promoting it.
He was the other girl.
Yeah, so he was promoting it, and all Nettie Hearn was with Katie, wasn't he? And I thought, you know what? I remember sat up and I thought, I'm going to watch it. Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. It was one of the best boxing matches I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like, it was only, what was it, 4 rounds or 6 rounds?
It was close, 10-round fight, but the decision was very close. I think it was split decision. So
bro, it had me, because Sereno looked like when she hit, it looked like it was rocking Kitty, and I was thinking, oh, this is terrible here. And Kitty just, she was like an Irish warrior, bro. I mean, I got goosebumps. When I watched it, I thought she is something special, bro.
So I came up through the amateurs with Katie. I went to 2 Olympic Games with Katie. I'll be honest when I say she's the most saint-like person I've ever met.
I can imagine.
I've never heard her say a bad word. Her behaviour, everything. She's just so professional. Yeah, she's the most saint-like person I've met.
It gives me goosebumps, bro. I'm not going to lie, bro. When I seen, and then she single-handedly changed the rules,
Box.
the
Everything.
law
Everything,
in
yeah.
Ireland too, didn't she?
She's the reason women's boxing was allowed in Ireland.
I called her the Irish Mulan.
Oh, aye.
Because she dressed up as a boy and all, didn't she?
Aye,
And,
at
like,
one stage, aye, she used to go down to the gym and spar and stuff.
militant, bro. You can't fuck with her.
Nah, you can't.
To me, I'd say she's the greatest Irish sports person of all time.
100%.
I'd love to see her headline Croke Park. That's what McGregor's trying to
That's
get
just
for her as well.
trying to happen now.
That-
Whether it happens or not, I don't know, but I would love to see it happen, because you
Yeah.
know it sells out easy.
Yeah. No, instantly,
Aye.
bro. It doesn't matter what time of the day
They're going to
matter.
do this next fight now. Our next fight's going to be in the 3 Arena, which will be a first fight in Ireland. But even at that, that's I think it's under 9,000 people, but that'll sell out in a blink, and tickets will be scandalous too, like price-wise.
But there should be, because of how small it is. They need to get her in that arena, in Croke Park.
Ah, definitely.
They definitely do, bro. But yeah, it was interesting when I watched her and I seen that you came up with her.
Oh, aye. We come up for like, I sparred her and all, and I remember going in the spar, and she was already like multiple world champion and stuff, and like I seen people going in and sparring her and they going, oh God, I'm gonna hit a girl. I was like, I've watched her spar. I'm gonna punch the fucking out of her if I can, because I know she's gonna punch the fuck out of me.
Obviously, you could get knocked out. I know, right?
So I went in and sparred her, and the first time I sparred her, I remember going, fuck me, she's faster than any man I've fought here. Like, her fans are so fast. It's like, she gives me as hard spars as Paddy Barnes here. Like, I mean, this is tight, but
it's incredible, bro. It's mind blowing.
She was unbelievable, and I was at that stage. I was way later on her too. And she still weighs a weight above me, but like at that stage, I was much smaller and later. So like I was going, here I'm gonna try and spark her out here if I can.
Yeah.
But she was that good.
She
like,
was too elusive and all.
Very good.
Slick, too militant, bro. I do. I mind blown at how amazing she was, you know. And like even the like I said, it was because, you know, remember when the UFC hyped up Ronda Rousey? You know, and it was just all like she came out, but when she became the nail, it's easy to be the hammer. But when you become the nail, but when I watched the very first fight I watched of Katie, I found myself biting my nails, going, "Please, Katie, come on!" And I was like rooting for like the whole, you know.
She's a great role model.
She is.
A great role model.
She definitely, truly is. And that's what I loved about her. Just her, I could sense that you said the saintliness about her. Like, she's
amazing. Like,
yeah, she's powerful.
No
bro.
shit talk, none of that. There. She doesn't need to. She just like is who she is.
Yeah.
Like a Pacquiao kind of in a sense.
She is. She's an Irish Pacquiao, isn't she, bro? She's militant. She's too G'd up. I'd love to see her just continue undefeated the whole way through it and just smash it, you know? She is militant, bro. So, so you like came up with Katie Taylor and all in the Olympics, bro.
Yeah.
That's madness. And then you just went mad about the Olympics, because I agree with you, bro. Everything that you said about.
Oh, so I done 2 Olympic Games. 2012 I got bronze. And that was my first Olympics. I wasn't expected. I was told before, no, we're not expecting a medal. Just your Olympics will be 2016. But I still went medal and stuff, and I was delighted. I was devastated when I lost, but I was delighted the medal. So, and in between that, obviously achieved everything. No, Commonwealth gold, European gold, world gold.
Yeah.
Go to Olympics as gold medal favourite. And then what happened. I was robbed, and it's been proven. Everything I said has been proven since.
Obviously, it has. That's why everyone loved it so much, because they knew it wasn't. You weren't a sore loser. You were coming up from. You were robbed, and you were just saying, "I've been robbed here," and you let them know.
That's it. I like. There's loads of media training now you do, especially in the Olympics now, and people like you see all athletes going and they go, listen, I have to go back and review it, and
all that went out the window.
I was saying, no way, I'm not doing this.
You're damn right.
What I done, I'd planned it previously, because in the amateur system it is very, very corrupt, and there's been many times throughout the amateurs where I have been fucked over, and you can't really do them, but it's just like, fuck's sake, and you can't really complain because it'll happen again. But when I qualified for 2016, it was in WSB. I'd been fucked over once or twice, and I needed to win the last fight, and I needed another fight to go my way, which I didn't see happening. I knew I'd win my last fight, but I didn't see the other fight losing. I planned this to see after this fight, even if I win, I'm just going to go, fuck you, because I'm not qualifying, and I'm going pro.
Yeah, damn right.
So I says, right, I'll do it there. I was in Venezuela, me and Paddy Barnes, and the fighting, and I made the fight much harder than what it was, but it was what a war, and all the Venezuelans, but they go all from villas, so it was like surrounding us, so they were all like down in the arena, and they were going Venezuela, and after like they were cheering like crazy even when I won. I was that fucked. I went, just clap the crowd, not gonna get the fingers here, clap the crowd. Next minute I was told the fight went my way. and I've qualified for Olympics, so I started going, yeah, I love everything, fucking into it.
Obviously.
But when it happened in the Olympics, it was like, everything that happened in the Olympics, so I says, before the drawing, I was like in the law of attraction. I was going, right, I want to fight Armenia first. I'd like to fight the Russians second, and then for like I'll be in the medals, and then I'll fight fucking whatever in the medals. But everything I said played out how it was. It was like I was fighting the Russian the second fight. I fought the Armenian the first fight, beat him. I was like, it's meant to be. It's meant to happen. So going out to fight the Russian, I remember my dad said to me, listen, the night before, he says, because he was the coach, he says, if you could, I think you can stop this guy. And if you fucking can't, you stop him. Because they knew.
Yes.
They were told.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So I was like, of course, never said it to me before, but alright, so I'll go for it. So the first round came out, I was walking out very confident into the ring. First round, I feel like a box ears of him. Come back to the corner, you're down, my dad just leans in and goes, they're trying to fuck you. Go on, fucking take him out. So I went in the second round, almost took him out. The referee stopped it and like fixed his like white blood off him, like going like stop and like white blood off him, box again, like give him the fucking break. I almost had him gone, and she gave him the break, and then like I won that round. I was like, right, they're not going to do this soon. Third round went out, the prime best round, and I ended up losing it. I was like, fuck me. So I didn't know any of what they had knew. They were told after my first fight. The two coaches, my dad and
your dad's a G. He was just trying to get you to just clank him.
Well, they tried to contact everybody in the Irish Olympic setup to get help because they were told by one of the other Russian coaches. Because we have a Georgian coach on the Irish squad, and he's friends with the Russians. They were like, "Your boy's not going to win. Go get help." And I said, "What do you mean, coach? Your boy's going to lose." And he says, "He's going to win. He should have lost his fight before, and he ended up winning that." And they were like, "Go get help. You won't win." And they went and got help, and then they went and asked around, and they went to people in far, far away circles, and it came back to, sorry, it's too late, and it's already done. So I went and done that. I didn't know what was said. I wasn't told anything. I just reacted off my own feeling.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to go. I remember when I was walking over to the media, there's BBC first, and then there's RTE behind them. BBC just when they guess, no, we don't want them. Like that, no. RT was just like, come on.
Yes,
they
fucking damn right.
And then I just went off and that was it.
Good.
I was inches, like walking past. For me, like spitting on someone is very, very, like one of the most disgusting things you could do. And what most disrespect for me, I was that close to spitting on the judges walking past and slapping them. You see me walking past them, fucking shooting things. I want to punch them or slap them and spitting them.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I went and then I say what I had to say.
Speaking of spitting as well, I watched an interview there, and you were talking about the Lee Wood fight, and you were saying that his fans were spitting on you.
When I was going out of the arena, obviously on the fucking medic bed, they were spitting down at me. You know?
You don't talk shit to me, bro. That is madness. Yeah, because I watched that fight last night as well, bro. And like I said, I couldn't believe it because I thought you were winning, bro. I really did. I would have said you were winning. How did that feel? Because that was your first proper loss, like that, wasn't it?
My first loss professional, and first time I've ever been knocked out in my life. It was just fatigue at the end.
I heard you said your brother caught you.
He caught me. If he didn't catch me, I was fucked up.
I know, bro. I think that's why. Because when I watched it, you didn't see your brother catch it, and then obviously they're all saying we need because they were saying don't be celebrating and all. And I was thinking shit because you could have broke your neck or something the way you fell. Your brother's a legend, bro. He caught you.
He jumped, ran up and caught me.
Legend, bro.
But yeah, listen, it was one experience. What a fight. I should have had him out a few times.
I seen that, bro. Last night I was watching it. I was thinking,
fucking 10 more seconds left. The first round, it was over. If it was like different shots had happened in the second round, it was over. And there was so much things. You know that.
Where was that fight?
I was in Nottingham, so it was in his back garden.
Yes.
But yeah, like you know, you get so close. Like if it was a minute and a half, if I had to survive the rest of that round, I had won.
You had one.
I was like.
But that's boxing in general, isn't it, bro?
Like, you know, it's like every inch, isn't it? Like,
and like, you know, I often think about Mike Tyson fighting Buster Douglas even. You remember when Buster Douglas beat him, and it's like, you know, you're not ready for that, you know. And I think a lot of Ireland wasn't ready for that. They were just like, what the fuck? But that's what I loved about you, bro, the way you didn't let that shape you. Do you know what I mean? You thought, fuck that. And then you came back and smashed it.
Like, I had people saying, like, you need to, like, take more time off. And I was like, no, listen, it was one punch.
Yes.
Like, if anybody needs to take time off, it was
You're
Boyd,
mad because he took more damage in the fight, and he did.
And he did. And if you look at his most recent fight, he ended up getting knocked out by Lara. But I think I've kind of took his soul a bit in that fight, even though he made a won a battle, but he didn't win the war in that one. You know what I mean? Like
and
the long term effects of the whole thing, I think he would be more damaged than I was, because, to be honest, I thought it was quite comfortable. My problem was in that fight, when I look back on it, I was punching too much. I was punching when I didn't need to punch.
Yeah.
And one thing I said about him before, as much shit I talked about him, he's tough and he's resilient, and he showed that, and he showed it tenfold. But I did know he was tough and resilient, so I was wasting punches when I didn't need to, and wasting energies which I didn't need to. But
and that over fatigue.
So it's all experience, and I'm glad it's happened, because it sets me up perfectly going forward. I've had that experience. You know, I've been in the trenches. I've fought at like 100 mph pace for 12 rounds there. You know, albeit didn't go my way in the end, but like I know what it's like. I know what to do. I've had that experience. So going forward, them mistakes will be made. So it's good. Yeah,
it's militant, bro. I love that. That's what I was watching McGregor's podcast interview by Ariel Hawani that he done live last night. He said the same. He said, "Listen," he said, I've seen MMA fighters with one with like no hand and another one with like no legs, and he says, I don't care about any injuries, anything getting knocked out, anything. I will crawl out to that octagon until I die, and it gives me goosebumps. I thought that's what I love, bro. You don't define by your wins, you're defined by your losses.
100%.
You know, and that's what it is, bro. It's militant shit. That's what I loved. So so after that, then you've won two
in a row. Two in a row, and like the first fight I came back in, Pearson take an easy fight, and I was like, no, I'll take a dangerous fight, and it took Miguel Mariaga, who had something like 30 something wins, a few losses, but like 26 knockouts. So he had more knockouts than I had fights. So like it was a dangerous fight to take, especially after coming off a knockout loss. So people were like, "No, what are you doing?" But I was like, "Fuck that! No, I'd rather jump back into the deep end right away." I don't feel there's anything which has changed. So let's keep moving forward.
Of course, and then. I seen then. Is this confirmed then? This new fight?
It's done. It's done May 27th.
Lopez.
Luis Alberto Lopez, who just won the world title against Josh Warrington in Warrington's back garden in Leeds. So
you're going into
he's coming to Belfast. He's coming to Belfast.
Is he, bro?
So he has to come to Belfast.
Militant.
He has to come to Belfast.
Shit, bro. Listen, you know I'm an Irish ballad singer too, don't you?
I do. I've been loving the music. Have
you heard my rendition of Spancel Hill?
I fucking love it, John.
Listen, I want to sing Grace for you, bro. I'm going to sing Grace for you, your walkout. And then and we'll go at the end of it, you know, when you go, there won't be time to share our love, so we must say goodbye. And then we'll switch. It goes, I was born in Belfast. You walk out, bro. Talk to me. What do you say, bro? Your walkouts are something special, bro. They are. I need to come to that. I want to come. I've never. I went to see Snoop Dogg at the Odyssey there. I was smoking blunts.
See the thing. Like, see the walkouts. I loved them, and like I've got in trouble. Obviously, I walked out the Celtic Symphony, but there was no malice in it. You know what I mean? But you know how here is home is.
Of course.
People will take it how they want to take it. People are going, it's fucking sectarian Boston. There's not one bone in my body like that. I was like, all right, I've done the wrong thing here. Do I regret it? I don't regret it, because it was one of the best atmospheres I've walked out to.
I love Celtic Symphony, bro. It's one of my favourite tunes.
I was playing to my audience in New York, Irish Americans. They're all
they're
mad bastards.
Yeah.
So they loved it. And I'm not lying. Like when people ask me, like, do you regret it? I say no. Would you do it again? No, because I know the kind of backlash, what happened and stuff. Were you doing? I wasn't doing it in malice, so there's no need for me to regret it. But I wish I could do it again without the backlash, because it was that good.
It annoys me, bro. Personally, I just sort of think like, fuck it, bro. You know, I would just keep the song. It's funny because there might be sectarian things to it, but the song in itself is actually fucking brilliant.
But the thing,
do you know what I mean?
The thing is, if you actually wanted to break it down and look at the lyrics, it actually isn't. It's like about a Glasgow man coming to Belfast, and he says he walked around and he seen graffiti on the wall, and it said,
yes,
so
exactly.
I think that was the thing.
Exactly. So it's like, I always thought that, sure, but same with my music. Like when I done music, and then like Wee Johnny and all, and it was seemed very controversial, but it was literally like me talking about what people were saying about me. And then me just saying, nah, I'm not having it, you know. But no, I loved that, bro. Sure, it was the same with McGregor. He revolutionised that coming out to them tunes, didn't he?
Unbelievable.
And I love
And
the
see,
Irish tunes because it's about it's war in it
100%,
too,
and
and you're going to war.
that
like.
was the thing. Like, for me, I wasn't even big into like Irish music and rebel music and all until I moved to LA for a year and started my pro career in LA. And like in my house, there was never like in my house. It wasn't like you're walking, you're hearing fucking no RA music or fucking Irish music or even Irish trad music. Nothing like that. It was like my dad loved Ice-T. You know what I mean? That was the kind of music we were growing up on.
Ice-T?
Ice-T, and then like
that's a G, bro. Your dad listened to Ice-T?
I used to. I usually
what a G.
Used to have fucking Ice-T CDs, and then like fucking the Gypsy Kings and stuff. So it was all like all different genres of music, like being listened to in my house. And it wasn't Irish music. It wasn't until I moved abroad, and I was like,
missing
I wanted
home.
something like of home.
Yeah.
Christy Moore, you know, Wolf Tones, you know, Luke Kelly, all these ones.
All of them.
You're going, fuck me, like, this is unbelievable. I'm sitting here in LA, I'm listening to Missing You and all these songs, and you're going,
just makes you feel like home.
You want to be close to home, and that's when I started listening. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come out to Grace. Because I was listening to Grace, like, that's a song. I know everybody at home loves it, but it says that's a song because people would not associate that with fighting. It's a love song.
Yeah, but it is fighting too.
Exactly.
He's about to die as well.
He's about to die. But like, how can you pull on people's heartstrings without being too soft? Put that type of song in, and you're good.
It was militant, bro. Funny enough, I was singing one night at a karaoke bar with my brother's father-in-law, and I was singing like an Irish song, and then I walked off and a wee woman and her husband come over to me and they said, we loved you singing, your voice is brilliant. No, could you sing us Grace? Do you know Grace? And I had a few drinks, so I just started belting it out. Both of them burst out crying. Both of them crying in front of me. And then I like stopped and I says, and then she told me her son had just been buried to it or something. But like, you know, it's powerful tune, bro. It's very, very powerful. And like what I love about a lot of like the old rebel tunes as well, there's no bitterness in them. That was oppression, and they're talking about fighting oppression. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference. Like I relate with it fully. So like I said, when I moved to, you know, I grew up in Rathcoole, and I was born in Rathcoole, left there when I was like 7. My uncle and all, they all played traditional Irish music.
Oh yeah.
In Rathcoole,
Brilliant,
he would sit there and play the flutes and the whistles and everything, and he learnt all of it. And when I moved to like Manchester and it was a similar thing. You know, I only started really paying attention to Irish music there, and I told you everyone said I was Irish. You know, so that was me. Then
you were never going, no, I'm not. I'm this. I'm not. It was just like, all right.
Yeah. So I tried it first. The same with my dad. Then my dad ended up saying, yes, I'm an Irishman. Do you know what I mean? And we accepted it then, and like happily, I'd always claim Ireland and. It was always to do, the more I studied when I was in Britain about colonialism and the British and all, I was thinking like, over here it's funny because it's like, they're more British than the people in Britain. Do you know what I mean? And it's mental. But it seemed like you won the Commonwealth for Northern Ireland, didn't you?
Yeah,
and
Commonwealth gold medals,
And then you changed the Ireland.
No, it changed. Cause so in boxing's like rugby. It's an All Ireland sport.
Right.
But in the Commonwealth, Ireland's not in the Commonwealth.
Obvious.
The North is. So, like, we were able to go and box and compete for both, so it was no problem.
Oh, why? Because you won it for the Commonwealth, didn't you?
Like, people will say, well, like, if you're from, say, Protestant or Catholic, say if you're Protestant, people go, why not box for England? You can't. It's not, people, and why would you? Like, you're fighting, you know, you're on the island.
But you know what I always thought was funny as well? So, like, you know the British passport?
Yeah.
You get the British passport and it says the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
So technically, by the definition of the front of the passport, Northern Ireland is only a part of the United Kingdom, not Great Britain.
Yeah, that's true.
So how come Northern Irish people can be part of Team Great Britain?
So in the Olympics, it's Great Britain and Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah, so it's actually Team GB plus NI, but they don't say that's just Team GB.
They say Team GB.
But it's funny that, isn't it, bro? Yeah, it's militant. So
it's mad because different sports, like in boxing, obviously, Ireland is a whole sport, but in athletics, you can choose. If you're good enough to compete for GB, you have to be really fucking good because they're unbelievable at athletics. They go there, or most of the time they'll go to Ireland because most people from here are probably not good enough to get on the
I'm
GB
with
squad.
you.
So
Yeah, funny, bro.
Yeah.
It's class. So you're fighting again in the Odyssey then,
yeah,
or the SSC?
back in the Odyssey.
Militant, bro. When's that?
May 27th. World title fight, IBF world title fight against Luis Alberto Lopez.
Awesome, bro. I know you'll do that, bro. You're gonna
Ah,
smash it.
listen, I definitely do, and I know that, like, he'll try and go a little bit close to the edge with like his back and forth, even though there'll be a language bar. But I've already seen some of the stuff he's doing. But you know, with the Lee Wood fight, I played into it, and I know like I can talk shit. So like, if you're going, I won't talk shit unless you're going to talk shit to me. But with this one, even though he's going to talk shit, I'm just going to hold my tongue until I win it, and then after that, I'll just go fuck you.
Of course, militant, bro. Like you said, you don't need to talk shit because you're in your home turf and all. Anyway, he sort of needs to talk shit to hype himself up.
Yeah, that's what he needs. He needs that little bit of back and forth. And
yeah,
I won't play in that shit.
Bro, that'll be electric. That place. I need to come to that. I'm definitely coming to that. That'll be something special, bro.
It'll be special. Like I will, and like the last 2 times now I fought at the Odyssey, the atmosphere's just been different. Like I fought in the park, in the Falls Park, 2 years in a row, 2 summers in a row at the Field. 10,000 people are outdoor in a park which I grew up in, which I was smoking weed in, which was on the mitch from school in. I'd done everything in that park.
Shit.
And I ended up fighting there, and I was getting paid to fight there, not just having a fair
next
dig, you know
level.
what I mean? So it was a bit special. But then when we went to the Odyssey last year, 2021 for the first time, the atmosphere was like unbelievable. It was probably better because it was that same mad atmosphere but with a roof on it.
Yeah.
And it couldn't escape.
Yes.
It was crazy.
I can imagine, bro, because I went to see Snoop at it the other day and I was thinking, yo, but I thought I would love to watch a boxing match in here, like it'd be special.
It's a cauldron.
Yeah.
Proper cauldron, like.
Yeah, it is.
And
it's a small stadium.
9,700 or something.
Yeah,
I think
I went and watched Tyson Fury at Wembley.
But the last one is one we fought Dillian White.
Yes,
I was there. I was there.
Yeah, were you there too?
We ended up basically walking out with him because we had a fighter on the undercard. Because me and my brother, we run our own promotional setup now, and we had a fighter on the undercard, Kurt Walker from Lisbon. So he fought, and anyway, he ended up going out with his missus. He left. He didn't want to watch the fights. We stayed. And we're sitting backstage. I was like, I can't be always sitting there in the cold watching these fights. The only one I want to see is Fury, and then I'll go. So he was last, but we ended up like coming out of the wee changing room bit, and they were ready to walk. They had that big band, the army kind of things with him, where he was being carried and all that.
Yeah.
We were standing behind him videoing. It was like, fuck me, this is unbelievable.
Sick, bro. My mate Danny, he fucking got a private box for us, a VIP box. Cost like fucking 30 grand, bro.
Jesus
and everybody here, this is daft. So we gets in the Wembley, and I'm buzzing them with a big private box and shit. But it's all on the TVs, you know. And then they give us this meal. The meal wasn't all that. And then for the main event, they turn off the TVs, so everyone has to walk out to the balcony. But because we're up in the fucking balcony, so I'm looking and I'm trying, and then I'm looking over at the TV, and that's miles away. And I'm thinking, this is fucking mad. I should have brought binoculars, you know.
That's what we done. So after we walked out and watched the walkout bit of him, we basically followed them out to the ring. We just walked back into the room, watched it on TV.
Yeah.
It's too cold.
Of course. Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I always said that. I said, like, going to a few events. I would love to go to one in Belfast because it's home turf and it's very close and it's not that hard to get to or nothing. But you see, like that Wembley, bro. And then afterwards, you couldn't get a taxi for nothing. And it was like, I don't remember what they said. There was 90,000 or something.
That was crazy.
Bro, whatever it was insane.
You're right, it was 90,000.
We walked for fucking 2 hours, me and my brother, afterwards, to try and get a taxi. It was just insane, bro, you know. So I would always think I'd rather just sit at home with a nice big bucket of chicken.
Much easier,
Just a big spliff and just sit and watch the fights and things, you know.
Done.
And then you get to hear all the interviews and everything, because Tyson brought out Nagano at that
That's
time.
right,
And I didn't even hear it. I was thinking, who's that fella in there? I couldn't see that.
Asked him what size his dick is. He was.
Oh, wow. He did say that, didn't he? He's always said bad shit like that, Tyson.
He's crazy.
He said that about Anthony.
Joshua as well. He may have a bigger thing.
He did. I was thinking, this guy, man. But I love Tyson. Funny enough, bro, because, like I said, I grew up in Manchester. I knew about Tyson from his like amateur days and all, you know, and everyone was always talking about Tyson. And then when he was fighting Klitschko, I remember saying to everyone, he's gonna beat Klitschko, I know he is and all, you with me? And then he smashed it. And then all that bullshit happened with him, you know, when they stripped him and all. And I think they were coming for him, like, you know.
Definitely,
they definitely were. Like, you know, he spoke out against a few things and then he was shut down, cancelled, you know.
That's right, the BBC Awards and all, when he was not
Personality of the year, cut him off and everything. And I thought, you know, I was getting me angry. And then he put on all the weight. And I was quite heavy at the time, too. I was like fucking very heavy. Then when I moved to Spain, I decided I'm going to try and lose weight. And it was the same time Tyson said, I'm losing weight, I'm coming back, I'm going to fight Deontay. And I said, he'll do it, I know he will. And I was like sort of doing it with him in my head. I was out training on the beach and all, saying, come on, Tyson. So to see him do it, bro. Like, what do you think of Tyson, like?
I think he's an unbelievable fighter. Like, see, the thing is, for me, I respect him coming back from like all the mental health stuff and all, and being overweight. But wait, he failed the test before, didn't he? Doping test. Like during all that there stuff, when he ended up having the mental health stuff and all, he'd feel like a dope test.
I thought that was just cocaine or something.
Nah, he'd failed for like the Fandrolone, which is like a mad.
I didn't know that now.
Performance.
Because I'll tell you my opinion. That's what I wanted to ask you about Conor Ben as well. Do you genuinely believe that he's guilty?
I believe he done it. I do.
You, bro?
I believe anybody who's being caught, 99% of the time they've done it. I mean, I believe boxing's riddled with doping.
Yeah.
And it's scary because I'm a boxer and I have 2 young kids and a missus. And
your life's on the line.
Boxing's already dangerous enough. Seen in my fucking fight when I lost, how dangerous it was. I could have fucking been really injured there. Like, the fact that it's that dangerous and people are actually going to take like performance enhancing stuff to make it even more dangerous is scary. And I believe anybody gets caught should be banned for life. And like, even I love Fury and I think he's an unbelievable fighter, but I actually can't fully support him because he has failed the test in the past. And I know I have been dragged back in at times, like when he's fighting Wilder and stuff, like, I love him to win. But then you forget, but you can't. But when you start to think of it, the Conor Ben things make me think of it more, and I'm like, I can't support him. I can't.
I love that, bro, because I'll tell you this now. Not only do I think that they should be banned for life for taking it, I think they should even be imprisoned.
Yeah. Because it's attempted murder.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. It's attempted murder. Because, like I said, there is a risk of life anyway.
Like, if you're in the ring, listen, most fighters will say, like, it's life or death. Like, no, you're going to go.
Yeah.
I'll go till I win, no matter what here. I'm not going to quit unless you have it in you a little bit. But, like, for me as a fighter, obviously I wouldn't want to die in a boxing ring. It's by no means. But, like, when I'm in there competing, I want to win. By no means, no, I'll go till I have to go.
Yeah.
Until I get fucking knocked out. So, and there's danger of dying there, isn't there? Like, I mean, so.
No, because I seen that. I remember Deontay Wilder. Remember he was saying, "I want to catch a Barry in the ring," and people. I didn't respect that because I remember even like Barry McGuigan. You know, he spoke about it. Remember, and he
killed someone. Didn't he?
Yes.
But not accidentally.
Yeah, of course, in the fight. But
Sugar Ray Robinson had a dream. Says, "I don't want to fight this guy. I dreamt they're going to kill him." And he says, "I'm not fighting." And like the priest told me, listen, it's going to be alright. The board and all, listen, don't be worried. You need to fight, have to fight. He ended up killing the guy. He killed him. But he dreamt he was going to kill him. And he ended up doing
that, bro? Is that like a prophecy dream or something then?
Must have been, now.
That's deep, bro.
That's scary.
It is deep. And was there another fight as well? The guy got knocked out bad and then the guy went and touched the other boxer's gloves and realised his...
It was
what was that?
Irish American guy.
I remember that.
Billy something. It was in like Boston. He ended up losing, got knocked out, and then I found out the guy had things.
Took all the...
But like, he ended up killing himself as well. The guy who lost, who got knocked out, because he was damaged and stuff. Because of it, he ended up doing himself in.
See, it's no joke, bro. This is what you don't play boxing.
Nah, you don't.
Do you know what I mean? It's a serious. It's a blood sport, and it's like you know. That's why I think anyone that is caught cheating. I didn't know that about Tyson, bro. I'm actually shocked.
You'd be surprised how much people have been caught. And like how he's brushed under the carpet. Like one of the best fighters in the world today is Canelo, but Canelo's failed the dope test, so I can't fully support him. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree with you, bro. I just genuinely fully agree because I just think, what the fuck is it then? Ivan Drago. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not into it. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't support it at all. See, with the UFC. If you watched like UFC from the beginning, I started watching UFC when I was 6 and followed it the whole way through. But back then, my goodness, like Nate Diaz's famous quote, everybody's on steroids.
Sure, man, Chad Sunnell, isn't it? Chad Sunnell, he was talking.
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen,
Yeah.
He's talking about
Yeah, he was on the same juice.
when he was fighting John Jones. He was like,
because he's honest with it.
His juice was better than mine.
Yeah, his juice is better than mine. Of course.
Fuck,
But I mean, listen, bro, when I started watching UFC, I knew for a fucking 100% they were all on it. But I mean, and again, I didn't mind it then because if they're all on it and they're all big stat freaks, they're dead sweet. But you have to remember it came up as like no rules and stuff. When it became a professional sport, fully agree the same now. Anyone that is caught, I would say, you know, taking that, they need to be banned for life and jailed.
UFC looks more dangerous, but in terms of like fatalities in sport, boxing has way more.
Yes,
barely any in UFC.
Because you know why?
In MMA, sorry.
You know why as well? Because in MMA, if I punch you and you fall to the ground, I'll jump on top of you and knock you out instantly. Yeah. Whereas in boxing,
it's repetitive damage.
And, you know, of course.
I mean, and the worst thing is in a fight is worst thing for anything like damage on the brain is a double concussion. So you know when someone that gets knocked out, they get up and they get hit again. I mean that's double concussion.
And that happens all the time in boxing. Sure, with Tyson, remember when he got knocked down by
Wilder?
By Wilder, and then like he was actually knocked out. Like,
I was.
For a while, you know.
I woke up when he hit the canvas, but he was still out. Like
yes, that's what I mean. So like sometimes you could get knocked out 3, 4, 5 times in a fight, and just it depends how tough you are. That's why I think a lot of the corner men they're saving their fighter's life, like you know. Yes, that's why. What do you think? Did you see this new slap league?
I don't. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I am fully against. To call it a sport is insane. To call it a fight is even more insane because a fight, as you know, is the art of hitting someone and not getting hit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. No.
So I said, like, the UFC should make a new league, front flying kicks to the face, no one flinch. I mean, how stupid you want to go? Do you know what I mean? Baseball bats to the face. Who can take the hardest leg?
It's basically that, isn't it? Really,
it is.
Like so.
It's disgusting, bro. If anything, it shows you the decline of society.
Yeah.
If that's classed as
people
entertainment,
want to watch it. Like, it's
I don't
crazy,
even think they do, bro. Because I follow the UFC page. I keep torturing them. I keep commenting. And my comments are going viral. My comments keep going viral. I keep saying, like, why are you doing this, like, slapping fetish shit on your page and all? What I don't understand is they keep posting it on the UFC page.
It's Dana White. Dana White's the one who's behind it all. He's the one that wants it to go big and earn money off it because he knows that there is people who actually like watching that type of shit.
Yeah, and I get it then. Promote it on your fucking page, Dana. Yeah. But why promote it on the UFC page?
I know.
It's mental.
And UFC fighters promoting it baffles me because people in combat sports should understand like the damage of combat sports. You know, if you're going to get into it, you need to understand that. Like, for me, I'll not let my kids box.
Would you not let them?
Nah, I'll let them train.
Yes. But what if he was?
If he's good enough, I'd probably back him in it. Yes.
And what if he was just saying, listen, all I want to do is box, please. Like, you'd have to just even let him get hurt if he wants to. Then
it's like,
you know what I mean. Like, you'd have to let them. Like,
I can't stop them, but I'm not influencing it. Yes, you're not influencing it. It's not something I really want to see in my kids. And I've done it to get my kids out of the position I was probably in.
Yes.
I mean, they give them better opportunities, better life, better schooling, everything like that than what I had. So, if I've done it, why do I want you to do it? Yeah. I've sacrificed enough in the sport. I've been hurt enough in the sport. I've seen the hardest parts, the worst parts. I've had the unbelievable highs, yes, but the lows are just as low. Like, you know what I mean? They're really bad. The suffering, the sacrifice, the things I've missed. I've missed fucking so many things throughout life.
Yes, but do you not think
it's good? Yes, it's definitely good. Discipline, sacrifice, and respect. That's why I would let them. I would let my son train. Like, but like, I wouldn't want him. And if he wanted to have the odd fight, no one who's young, I no problem. But I wouldn't let him be. I would not let him. I would not kind of push him down that route of to be like, you know, elite or professional boxer or some stage of life, because there's much easier ways to earn money in this world.
Of course, obviously. Listen, I fully agree, and I honestly think only, you know, fighters who, like you said, there's a difference between being like a fighter and a pugilist, you know what I mean, as well. But like I think the best pugilists are the ones who are natural fighters as well, who's just got a hunger in them for the fight. Like, that's why I said, like, my all-time favourite was, like, you know, Mike Tyson, just because he was animalistic, you know what I mean? And he was so skillful with it.
If you hear him talk now, and eloquent. He talks.
He breaks my. I cry listening to him sometimes. Though,
He cries all the time.
I know,
it's
bro.
like how he talks about fighting and the art of fighting and stuff and things he wish he was and wish he could have been and the devilment and demonness inside him when he was fighting. He like how apologetic and all he is now about things. It's class to see, but at the same time,
it's scary.
It's hard to walk his shoes, like.
Bro, no, I could never walk his shoes, bro. I mean, in terms of even the things he's dealt with, I think like how could any one man deal with that, losing a child and everything?
That was spot on.
I couldn't cope with stuff like that, you know. But just to watch him still cracking on is mind blowing, inspiring. Because he was the most scariest man in the world.
So when I fought in Vegas, there's a guy been following me since kind of started my pro career doing like a documentary thing. And there's just an American guy on board as well doing it with his Jay, his name is. He's fucking crazy, but he knows everybody, and he's the weirdest kind of looking dude ever. Like he says, you know, had sex with Rihanna and stuff from up before,
Yeah.
And Chris Brown fucking kind of shot the whole meeting because he came in trying to be a cunt. It was like this guy's.
Chris Brown cockblocked him.
Because he came into the club, but they were already broke up and they already punched the fuck out of her on stage. So like, you know what I mean? It was like he's like, she's like has to go, and he's like, what the fuck? He's left there wearing cowboy boots and all he was saying. But like I fought in Vegas, and after the fight, he was like, you want to go and party with Mike Tyson and Shannon Briggs? Because he's friends with Shannon Briggs.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, where are they? He says, they're at Mike's farm. You want to go? You know, at the weed farm?
Yes.
I was like,
fuck off.
well, how far is it away? You know, I've got a flight in the morning. He's like, it's like 6 hours away.
I
Like,
cancelled
nah,
my
fuck
flight.
that, nah.
Why did you not just cancel your flight,
Because
bro?
I'm glad I didn't, because when he went, Mike had gone, it was only Shannon.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, thank God.
Big Shannon, the psycho.
He's unbelievable. He's
a
a great
gangster.
guy and
I
stuff.
love Shannon Briggs.
But like, I wasn't just going to a party. We were probably them guys just with birds, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, I'm left out.
What would you do, bro, if you ever had an opponent like Shannon Briggs? You're there out canoeing with your family, and he comes canoeing up to you. Yo, Mickey!
He's crazy.
You couldn't
He's
go
crazy.
with that.
When I fought in Vegas and stuff, he was with his before and stuff, and he was there shouting for us and stuff. He's
let's go, champ.
He's a cool guy. Let's go, champ.
Yeah.
That was his main thing. Was it?
He's a G. He came to Manchester, met my mate, and all. My mate was walking about with him into the clothes shops and all, you know. He's a big, funny guy, man. Funny shit, bro. Listen, fucking loved having you on, my bro. Could have talked all day to you, my brother. You're a fucking G.
Appreciate it.
I know you're going to be the champ. I'm going to go and watch it, the fucking Odyssey, bro. Smash it. Hopefully you'll get me out singing the fucking Grace for you live. I'm not into the girl singers. I like the old militant Irish guy singers, you know. I'll sing it raw, and then we'll do the Born in Belfast shotgun shell blast. I'm out, fuck 'em up in the home turn.
I was born in Belfast, hit a shotgun shell blast.
You know that. You with me, brother? It has to be done, I'm telling you. Listen, it's a fucking pleasure, my brother. Much love. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless everyone.